Hey, beautiful people, this is your girl and your host, Kayla Rose. Welcome to another episode of Soul Seed, the show which is dedicated to taking you to new levels of you. Happy Monday. I hope you guys have had a good one and had a great start to your day. So, today I'm going to be speaking about the second part in the Balancing Health and Hormone series, and we're going to be speaking about insulin today. So let's just see what's going by on the screen at the moment. So, usual one, guys, it seems that it's advertising with Relax Radio. Please take advantage of our £1 introductory offer. That's a really great deal right there. And you can call us on 07956 911 197 if you have a service, a product, or a business that you would like to promote to our Relax Radio listeners and viewers. And before I get into it today, please go and check us out on our other social media platforms, which includes YouTube and Twitter. And also, please download our Relax Radio app. You can stay up to date with us on the go and promote it to your friends and family if you think it's worth it. But I'm sure you guys do, right? Because you support us. So, as I said, I'm going to be discussing insulin today. And for those of you who may be aware of what insulin is, we are basically going to be discussing sugar. So, I gave you guys a quote of the week. It was kind of backdated because I didn't get to give it to you guys last week, Monday. But today, the quote of the week I've decided to go for is: you don't need any more sugar because you're sweet enough already. So let's get into speaking about insulin today. Yesterday we did stress and we was dealing with cortisol, and today we are dealing with insulin and we are dealing with sugar. So I thought it'd actually be good to just give a quick definition of what a hormone is, and it's basically a chemical messenger within our body which travels through our bloodstream. So that's basically what a hormone is. So it basically tells other things in your body what to do. And what is insulin? So insulin is produced by our pancreas and basically helps your cells to utilize glucose, basically puts glucose into the cells. Glucose is that sugar and gives energy and different things like that. And insulin also helps in the metabolism of our macronutrients. So that includes our carbs, our proteins, and our fats as well, and helps to bring those blood sugar levels down. Some of you out there who may be suffering with diabetes or something like that will definitely be aware of what insulin is. And as with most of these hormones, and as we said yesterday, with a lot of different things in life, the key is balance here. So, too much insulin, you're going to have some issues. And if you've got too little insulin, you're going to have some issues as well. So you really want to be standing in that middle ground. And even that saying that reminds me of Buddha. So the middle ground is the way forward with most things in life and finding that healthy balance. So one of the reasons why some people have issues with insulin, or their insulin becomes out of whack, is because of lifestyle, diet, and stress. As I said, we touched on that one yesterday. And with diet in particular, if you're eating a lot of simple carbs, not complex carbs, but those simple carbs such as white bread, white potatoes, anything like that, certain pastries, croissants. Oh, I do love myself some croissants and things like that. But these simple carbs, which seem savory on the surface, when they break down in your body, they're actually sugars. So those simple carbs are breaking down to sugar. That would also include things like white pasta as well. And as I said, those are some of the reasons why people may start to have an issue with insulin. Other reasons can be uncontrollable factors such as genetics. Aging, of course, is happening to all of us. The time is going so fast. I can't even believe that we are at the end of the first quarter of 2021. But there you go. Also, ethnicity can play a role in insulin issues or imbalances as well. So these are some of the uncontrollable factors. But things such as excessive weight, too much weight around your midsection, so basically that belly fat, lack of exercise, smoking, and also lack of sleep can contribute to issues with insulin. And a lot of these issues that we're discussing, the things that you seem to experience when you're having certain health issues, there's a common thread throughout all of them. So we've seen how much lack of sleep can affect the health in different lives that I've done, right? Also, the indication of having too much fat around the midsection has massive impacts on health as well. So those who have a lot of visceral fat, which is basically fat on the inside around the midsection, are at high risk of a lot of health issues, heart issues, different things like that, respiratory issues as well, and strokes and diseases or disorders of that nature. So as I said, some people who suffer from diabetes will be very familiar with insulin. So basically, people with diabetes take insulin shots. So you see people having to inject themselves on a regular basis, and it's because their blood sugar levels and their insulin is not functioning how it should be. Their insulin is not functioning how it should be to help get those blood sugar levels down by taking that glucose into the cells. And you can also experience issues being a pre-diabetic or becoming insulin resistant. So these are some of the early stages of full-blown diabetes. And this kind of diabetes, I believe, is called type 2. But there is hope because with certain corrective action, have heard of success stories of people completely reversing type 2 diabetes, particularly. So definitely go and check out some of the information that's out there. It could help you or someone you love and care about greatly. And the thing as well is that our hormonal systems are all interconnected. So even though we're talking about these separately in different lives, all the hormonal systems actually speak and communicate with each other in their chemical language. So if you're having a hormonal issue in one area, it's very likely that you're going to have disruptions in other areas as well. So as I said, it's really about finding that happy balance. And there is a correlation as well between insulin resistance and PCOS. So, for some of the females out there who are experiencing polycystic ovary syndrome, if you start digging into the research which is out there, you may be able to alleviate some of the symptoms that you're experiencing with POS as well. So I'm going to go through with you guys on some of the things that can occur or some of the symptoms that you may experience if you've got high insulin levels, particularly. And one may be frequent and intense hunger cravings. So if you're having cravings all the time or you're just really having the munchies and you feel like it's quite excessive, you just ate a little while ago and you want to eat again or something, it could possibly be that you have insulin levels which are too high. Another one could be craving for sugar. So not only are you having hunger pains, but you're particularly wanting that sweet fix, or you've got a sweet tooth and you definitely want to get that sugar in. And as I said, it gives us those spikes, right? So we eat something sweet and then we feel a bit on a high, and then sometimes our sugar levels can drop and then we start feeling really tired and lethargic and really fatigued. And another thing that I'm thinking of bringing to you guys, another health issue that I wanted to discuss with you guys, is possible having worms and parasites. And sugar actually feeds these kinds of creatures or entities within our system. These parasites actually crave sugar. So that can also be another reason why you're having such intense sugar cravings. And I will say on this point as well that we're talking about sugar, I have confessed already, and you guys know that I have had an ongoing relationship with chocolate, particularly since this pandemic situation started. I really kind of fell off. I've been getting on and off the horse a bit for the last year or so, right? Since we've been in lockdown and since we've been dealing with this whole coronavirus situation. And I would even say my workouts have not been as consistent as they should be. So we are all trying to work on areas or get areas back on track. So of course there's nothing wrong with slipping off sometimes as long as you refocus and try to get back on a horse. Another symptom that can be experienced, we've already said, I think, is weight gain. So if you particularly got weight gain around the midsection, or you find that your shape is changing and you're starting to develop more of an apple shape, that can definitely be something to do with insulin, but it can also be to do with cortisol or both. As I said, these different hormonal systems, these hormonal functions, and these hormones communicate with each other. So another symptom, feeling fatigued, feeling tired, feeling just completely lethargic and not having much energy, which is understandable, right? If your cells are not able to get the glucose, quote unquote, energy that they need to function at their highest, then you're probably going to be feeling a little bit tired. And uh, an example that may help to understand insulin resistance is that if you're insulin sensitive, you only need to release a little bit of insulin, and then the cells start opening up and the insulin can start doing its job. As you start to become resistant, your body starts to produce more and more insulin. And the cells get resistant, right? So it's like insulin knocking on the doors of your cells, and your cells are just not responding. They're not opening the door. So then your body produces more and more insulin to try and get the cells to open. But this creates a situation in the body where you're insulin resistant, and you also have high blood sugar levels. This is where we're getting into that pre-diabetic, that insulin resistant state. Other symptom is that you may lack motivation, or you could be experiencing anxiety and panic. And I find that interesting when we talk about issues like this. It doesn't just affect us physically, they can affect us mentally and mind, and soul really is connected. And as I said, it's really about trying to find that happy balance. So what can we try and do about it? Give you guys some simple tips, you guys, and also myself, some simple tips that we can try and do and incorporate into our lifestyles to help deal with this sugar issue. So the number one thing, right, we're cutting down on sugar. That is going to be the most obvious one. And as I said, I do definitely have a sweet tooth. If I had to choose between sweet and savory, I would choose the sweet, definitely. Even though there are many savory dishes which I love, if I had to make the choice. So write down in the comments which one would you guys choose? Which are you more sweet, or do you like savory dishes more? But also remember, as I just said before, just because something is savory, if it's a simple carb, ultimately it breaks down to sugar within the body pretty fast. So just because you're savory on the tongue doesn't mean your body is taking it to be that. But moving on to the next tip, you could go, this follows on from that, you could go low carbs, or start eating more complex carbs. So that's going to be certain types of vegetables and things like that. And that's going to break down in the body a lot slower and prevent some of those spikes that you may experience with insulin. So becoming aware of the glycemic index of particular foods. So certain foods you eat are going to give you a massive spike in your insulin levels. Whereas if you eat foods that are more moderate to low on the glycemic scale, you're going to be able to keep your blood sugar levels more stable. And some of the gym goers out there may even be aware of that. When you're trying to lose certain body fat, or you're just trying to lose body fat in general, and you're, calorie counting and doing your macros and your micronutrients and all of these different things to try and hit your fitness goals, you try to stay in the moderate low end of the glycemic scale. So what else can we do? So we already kind of mentioned eating fewer refined carbs, keeping a healthy weight. So that is going to help a lot if you are overweight or you've just got some extra weight as well in certain places, especially with all of this lockdown. It's happened to the best of us. But if you can keep yourself within a healthy weight range, that is going to have a lot of health benefits. And of course, exercise more. I feel like we've done these ones already. Particularly with eating, you want to try get certain things in your diet, such as fiber. And I see fiber as one of those things that basically is like, it's like sweeping your gut. So really getting all of that junk and that gunk out. So you want to be eating that fiber to get all the bad things out. You can eat whole grains and things such as beans as well. Drink a lot of water. I'm sure that's on every health list that exists out there. You cannot go wrong with drinking water. Of course, there is a point of being in excess, but most of us are not there. So drink more water. Want to get those 8 glasses a day, right? As much as we can. Supposedly, adding vinegar into your diet is helpful when dealing with insulin issues as well. And I would probably promote apple cider vinegar. That's definitely big on the health market, and I'm sure some of you are aware of that already. Other vegetables that can be eaten, or vegetables that can be eaten, are okra and spinach, beets, artichoke. Those are just some to name a few. And with okra in particularly, I've seen this WhatsApp picture, and it basically breaks it down about drinking the okra and how it's really good for reversing some of the symptoms of type 2 diabetes. So maybe if you do a Google search, you might be able to bring up that exact picture. Eating lean protein. So we're really talking about our chicken, our turkey, tuna, and things such as that, as opposed to maybe some of the red meats if you are a meat eater and you're not vegetarian or vegan. So possibly avoiding more meats like lamb and beef and pork and those kind of things, avoiding those. Then you want to eat healthy fats, particularly heart healthy fats. And we know that salmon always comes up, so you want to be getting those omega 3s in as well. Things such as avocado, coconut oil, all of these different things, which are fats, but they are very good for you. And fat is something which helps to metabolize and of the fat within our body. So basically, the fat within our body. Did I say that correctly? Let me just think about that for a second. No, that's what I meant to say. That fat helps to metabolize our hormones and balance out the hormones within our body. So that is why you want to get those healthy fats in as well. And then taking care of your liver. So our liver is the main detoxifier detoxifying organ within the body. So if there's anything in excess within our body, including hormones or sugars or anything going on within the body, the liver is going to be one of the organs that are going to help flush it out. So you want to be taking care of your liver. So even if you're doing anything a little bit naughty, if your liver is functioning properly, you may be able to get away with it at least for a little while. And I think that is everything that was on my list. And I'm just going to add it in there, meditation. Because you guys know any list that I have, meditation has to be on there. So hopefully I've given you guys some good information. I don't see you guys coming up with many comments these days. I don't know if it's because I'm doing it on StreamYard. Usually I would see on just the normal Facebook Live the comments that you guys write, but yeah, I can't see them anymore. I haven't been seeing many, but I miss you guys because it's good to interact and to get your feedback, your experiences, and your opinions. But please do write in the comments anyway. I will go and check it out when I can and get back to you guys. So, this is the last you'll see me for a few days. I will be back on Sunday with the third part in this series. We're going to be discussing the sex hormones for the rest of the series, and I've already touched on that. That's going to be the estrogen, testosterone, and the progesterone. And it is not something which is just female focused. The guys will find out in their lives how these hormones also affect you. So please do come and join if you're available and get the information. So I will bid you guys farewell, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of your night. Well, this has been your girl and your host, Kayla Rose. Thank you for joining me. And this has been Soul Seed, the show, which is dedicated to taking you to new levels of you as usual. Much love and stay blessed. Bye.